Do you ever think to yourself, if I could just get some work-life balance, I would be able to do so much more with my days that I actually enjoyed instead of slaving away at my jobs and my side hustle and all of that? If you've ever wondered those things, this video is for you. We're going to talk about specific steps that you can take to add more work-life balance into your life. I guess I should say more balance. You know what I'm saying. Tip number one is highly underestimated, and that is sleep. You have to get adequate sleep. There are people who will say, oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead. Well, you're going to get dead a lot sooner if you don't get adequate sleep. Research shows that the ideal number of hours of sleep per night is 7 hours. If you are sleeping only 3 to 4 hours a night and thinking that you can catch up on the weekend, that is terrible for your health. You need to set a timer for yourself in the evening to wind down and give yourself about at least a half hour to wind down, but ideally you'd be giving yourself an hour. So set an alarm, TV off, screens off.
Wash your face, brush your teeth, pet your dogs or your cats or whatever you're going to do. Like, get ready for the next day, like, choose your outfit for the next day. Read.
Do something to wind down. Maybe don't read a murder mystery. Maybe don't read Stephen King or a how-to book. Those things are going to stimulate your mind, and you need to, put the business away, put anything that's stimulating away, and wind down. Make sure that your alarm is set early enough so that by the time you do sleep, that you do not get fewer than 7 hours of sleep. It's important to get those 7 hours. Next, we're going to talk about alcohol. Alcohol is a touchy subject because nobody wants to give up their alcohol. Okay, I'm not going to say give up your alcohol. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that alcohol, the reason why I'm bringing it up right after sleep is because even if you pass out when you have consumed alcohol, that's not the deep sleep that you're wanting. And that sleep state that you experience only lasts for like a couple hours. It wakes you up after a few hours have passed. It actually keeps your brain awake. And so you don't want that. You need to be able to shut down. So if you're going to have alcohol, have it earlier enough in the day to where that's not going to affect your sleep, and make sure you're not having a lot, maybe a little bit if you're going to have it. Also, you want to make sure that you're not drinking every day. It's not good. And when you say, oh, like, well, I have a glass of wine at dinner every night. Okay, that's fine. Again, if you're having it earlier in the day, and if it's a true glass, which is 5 ounces, if it's this giant, huge cup and you're filling it to the brim, that's not one glass, my friend. No. Maybe reserve it for the weekends, but try not to go on a bender just because that's not good for your health. And if the idea of not drinking every day brings fear and trepidation into your psyche, then that's something you probably want to talk about with a therapist, because that can be indicative of some much larger issues. But I ain't your mama. You do what you're gonna do. Number three has to do with pets. If you are living in a place where you can have a dog or cat or something like that, and if you're in a place in your life where you can care for that animal responsibly, do so, because animals do such great things for your mental health. And rescuing an animal is also, it just feels good. It gives you the warm and fuzzies. You're doing a good thing for another soul out there. If you don't have the energy or the time to dedicate to a dog, because dogs take a lot of time, they really do, consider getting a couple of rescue cats. That way, while you're out, if you're not able to be at home, while you're away from the home, the two cats can hang out with each other. You can also, it doesn't take a lot of time to scoop a box. And when you get home, they're gonna love on you, and that's going to feel good. Taking that time it's a nice thing that you can do for the animal. It's a nice thing that you can do for yourself. And getting cats takes very, very little extra time out of your day. So you can still get a lot of pleasure, and that can add balance to your day. The fourth tip is to learn how to say no the right way. If your boss is asking you to do a whole bunch of stuff, if you're the yes person, then you don't get a break from that. Your boss knows that if they ask you to do something, that you're going to say yes. That can be a big, big problem for work-life balance. And basically you won't have any if you keep saying yes to everything. So you need to learn how to say no the right way. And I'm going to tell you how. Use the no, because, but method. No because but. You say no, that you can't do the thing because, and bonus points for listing some sort of external factor that you can't control. And then but, and give them an alternative that's going to suit your needs. Let's give an example. I'm so sorry, I can't draft that proposal that you want me to draft over the weekend because, and then honestly, name anything else. Anything else. Because I have my kids' soccer practice this weekend. It's my anniversary. It can't be your anniversary every weekend, by the way. I'm not saying to lie. I'm just saying figure out some sort of external reason, whatever it is. You can even say something like, because I already have plans that I can't change. You don't have to be specific. It really, you owe no duty to that person to be specific about what you have going on in your life. And your plan that you cannot change is a plan to be with yourself. It really is that simple. But you want to still give a because it's going to help them hear what you're saying more easily. It's going to help them take the no better. And they're not going to think you're being just a complete a-hole for not doing the thing they want you to do. And then you say, but, and give them an option. You want to try to work these extra projects into your work hours. So you can say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't draft that proposal over the weekend because I have plans that I've already made and I cannot change. But you know what I could do is I can look at this first thing Monday or Tuesday, whatever works best for you. Obviously, they're going to choose Monday. They need the thing, right away. But it's a way for them to feel like they have options. You're not just shutting them down. Obviously, if they need it over the weekend, they can go to somebody else. That's fine. That's not your business. The point is that you're going to have to learn to say no. If you want work-life balance, you're going to have to learn to say no. Not everything deserves a yes. Not everything deserves equal attention. And as I've read all over the place, and as my sister-in-law lovingly reminds me, no is a complete sentence. But in this instance, when you are telling your boss no, it is going to be much more digestible to them if you use the no because but method. These are just some of my favorite tips. There are thousands of tips out there, but I find that these are manageable, practical ways for me to obtain work-life balance without, let's say, scheduling out every 15 minutes in my calendar. I am not the type of personality who can deal with that nonsense. I cannot. So that would be a tip that would not work for me. But there are plenty of tips out there that will work for plenty of people. These are manageable, practical tips that I think can work for pretty much everyone. If you find this content to be helpful, please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment or a question below, and I might use your question as the basis for my next video. You never know. I appreciate your support. It really does help this channel grow and for me to help people just like you. I'll see you in the next one, and until then, ciao.